We have reached the conclusion of an era for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and what will be a celebration of 100 races this weekend, where we will crown our 5th champion. And it's very, very close in terms of the championship order. Just 4 points between Freddie Slater and Matteo De Paolo in the championship standings. And who of them will join the 4 champions that we have had so far in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine? Those, of course, being Gregoire Sorsi, Dino Beganovic, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Rafa Kamara. We cannot rule out Enzo Deligny either, who is still in contention for this championship, sitting 30 points back. And they will do battle, as will the remainder of the field, at the Temple of Speed this weekend. This is the 3rd time that we will have our season finale. It's where we had our first season finale back in 2021 and where we concluded our season last year as well. My name is Chris McCarthy, a pleasure to have your company. We're going to have 2 qualifying sessions and 2 races this weekend. You can kind of guess from that what the format will be if you are new to the championship. 1 qualifying session today and 1 race, and then we'll repeat that process tomorrow for what will be the 100th time. We're on the road to 100 races, and there will be a celebration for that tomorrow. Before we go to a bit of a new era, a new car, the Formula Regional European Championship goes to a new era tomorrow, and we will have a launch of that tomorrow. There'll be a bit of a celebration in the paddock later this evening. The new car is here for all the teams, the drivers, the fans to have a look at. And then it'll be to a new era, as I mentioned. But first, let's talk about the current. The drivers making their way out onto the circuit. We are the first out on circuit. It's a little bit cold around. The sun's still coming up around Monza, so it's going to be a little bit green out on circuit. The drivers are split into 2 groups for qualifying, so included in this is our championship leader, Freddie Slater, along with all the odd-numbered drivers in the championship. So we've got the number 12 of Ania Frey, Michael Belov, Giovanni Maschio, Thomas Stolchemanis. Great to have him here with RPM. Jack Beaton is in the 45, who you can see. Oh, that's Maschio going wide. Home race for him. We've got Rashid Al-Daheri, Freddie Slater, Enzo Deligny, so 2 of the championship contenders in this. Akshay Bora, Taito Kato in the 89, Nikita Bedrin, Edu Robinson, and Sakir Al-Maserji is also out there as well. A number of the current drivers have been very busy testing in Formula 3 between now and the last round as well, so they haven't been shy of some track time. It's been a busy few weeks for them. A number of drivers confirmed. There's been 8 of them in total that have been over in the likes of Jerez, Barcelona, and Imola most recently, testing with many of them preparing for the step up into Formula 3 next season, following on in the footsteps of many drivers who have taken that path before. Of course, Rafa Kamara going on to win that championship this season with a weekend to spare. Here you can see the drivers just going through a bit of a warm-up phase now. So in terms of the championship, it really is a bit of a straight fight between Freddie Slater and Matteo De Paolo, isn't it? 4 points between them. We use an F1 point-style system. There's going to be no points awarded in this qualifying session. There will be no points for fastest lap when we get to the race. It'll be 25 points for the winner in each race. So the champion is going to pretty much be a case of a shootout between Freddie Slater and Matteo De Paolo. It's going to be a really interesting fight between them. They just need to keep it on the track, need to keep it in the points to keep that championship fight moving throughout the weekend. and Freddie Slater and Matteo De Paolo will be the two that really fight it out. For Enzo Deligny, he just needs some big results. He needs to close that gap down by at least 5 points to Freddie Slater and Matteo De Paolo today to keep himself in contention going in tomorrow. So all the work is on him, really. He could do with a pole position here. Slater, this is a big qualifying session for him. He'll want to put himself on the front row and put the pressure on De Paolo on what is his home race going into his qualifying session. So in terms of the group format, if you are new to it, both groups go out, they set their times. The quicker group will then form the inside row of the grid. The slower group will form the outside row of the grid. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. So at the moment, we will have the likes of Matteo De Paolo and the rest in their group watching on from pit lane. Once this group have finished, they will know what time they have to go and beat. We've had 2 days of collective testing here as well. A very wet Thursday, and then it was dry yesterday, but all the running was done in the morning. We were pretty much wrapped up by lunchtime, so this is now going into an early start, and again, we're going to be done again by lunchtime, so that was kind of simultaneous for what we're going to have today. I'd say we're going to get one more of these, one more warm-up laps, and then we will be going for it. Enzo Deligny in the white livery there in the RSGP, just putting himself behind Freddie Slater in the white and red Prema. There is the number 12 of Ania Frey, just behind the 21 next along of Thomas Stoltemanis, the Latvian, very talented driver. Great to have Thomas Stoltemanis with us, who has stepped up from racing in F4. The E4 Championship will also have its conclusion this weekend, and another one which is very close, just 10 points between the top two in the championship there, Ki Nakamura, Berta and Gabriel Gomez. So 2 championship fights in single seaters going on this weekend. Well, Jack Beaton has decided to lead the pack and lead it quite substantially. The rest are looking for a little bit of a tow here, so we've got a bit of a tow hunt going on behind. But Jack Beaton wants to play no part in that. He's going to go for it and put the benchmark down early as we get the first flying laps underway. Jack Beaton across the line, makes his way down and looks in the mirrors to see no one really behind. The rest look like they're going for yet another warm-up lap here. And through Rettifilo chicane he goes. In the background, we're still warming up the tyres. As I mentioned, it's very cold around the circuit, so I think that's playing a part for what we're seeing here. But let's watch Jack Beaton now through Curva Grande into the Roger, and you can see the rear tyres getting really loose on Beaton. Manages to keep it okay. Let's see him through the Lesmos now. Into the first one we go. Tightens a lot through the second. This is where a lot of drivers get caught out. Into Lesmo 2 now. And then it's the run down to Ascari. Very much down. And then the climb up again, and he's bailed from this flying lap. And we'll go again on the next one. So we're not going to see any real substantial flying laps this time, and I think that gives us a view of what we'll see in the next one. In all honesty, I might be saying this one a bit too soon, but it looks like these guys are doing a little bit of sweeping for the next group here, because it is cold out there and the temperature is rising all the time here. With every minute, the sun's just coming up even more, and I think the advantage might go to the next group. We do swap the groups for tomorrow, so tomorrow Group B will go out first. Over the line, and Jack Beaton getting all crossed up into the first chicane. you can see him fighting with the steering wheel there. So I think this will now be our first flying lap. You could see a queue of cars all in a straight line that time. No one weaving into the Rettifilo chicane. Round Curva Grande now and into Roggia. We'll get the first sectors on the board. Everyone putting in decent times here. Freddie Slater of the first bunch has gone fastest through the second split. Comfortably fastest as well, and Taito Kato looks to be next fastest after that. Jack Beaton had set a good time in the second split before, but is now down on that time. Let's see him down through the third split and see what he can do. It looks like the two to watch are Freddie Slater and Taito Kato. Slater looks like he's going to go fastest. Rashid Al-Daheri now going good as well. But overall, Freddie Slater on to put the first benchmark time down. And Rashid Al-Daheri of all the drivers has just improved substantially, and he looks like he's going to go into second place. Let's watch Jack Beaton round Parabolica and up towards the start-finish line. What time will he put on the board? It's going to be a 147.1 for Beaton, but this is the driver to watch. Rashid Al-Daheri went only briefly fastest, and Freddie Slater immediately beat it, and it's a crucial time for Freddie Slater in this championship race. 4 points ahead of Matteo De Paolo. He needs to put pressure on the Italian going into his qualifying session. It's a real straight fight between the pair this weekend. Freddie Slater needs to be beating him. Enzo Deligny is down in P5. So for Enzo, really needs a front row start. 5th place for him currently. And we'll now go for a cool down lap before another push. Freddie Slater then, that gives us a chance to review. It was Slater fastest, Al-Daheri second, Jack Beaton in third. So the pace is with the Prema Racing team on a track they know so well, the Italian outfit. 1, 2 and 3. Akshay Bora in 4th, Enzo Deligny in 5th. Thomas Stolchamanis went 6th. Whoa, there we go. Jack Beaton's gone wide and off into the gravel. Down at Ascari, big lock up there. Nikita Bedrin 7th. Oh, and Rashid Al-Daheri went off as well. Big lock up. So that's put Freddie Slater now to the front of the queue, only at the expense of 2 mistakes from his teammates. Bedrin 7th, Frey, Belov, Robinson, Al-Masergi, Maschio and Kato. On to the next flying laps then. After a bit of a cool down, we go again. And Slater is now leading the queue. Prema Racing very much leading that train. Let's watch Enzo Deligny, because he hasn't taken his foot off the gas so much, and he's now just gone up to P3. Taito Kato likewise. Let's watch this back. So Jack Beaton there locked up the rears big time and went straight off over the gravel. Would have dragged some of that back onto the circuit, I'm sure. Enzo Deligny up into 3rd, so that's a good time from him. It says time deleted from Al-Daheri, but he did not improve, so I'd ignore that message you just saw next to his name. That has no bearing on this qualifying session. Right, Thomas Stolchamanis has just gone fastest through the second split. The RPM driver jumping in. What a result it would be for the Latvian, Thomas Stolchamanis, who is going along really well. Just put himself up into P6, and now he looks to be challenging to go fastest. He's a very talented driver. It's Stolchamanis, and Nikita Bedrin is now going to go wide at Ascari, and he's going to be followed by Stolchamanis, and he's going to be followed by one of the RXGP drivers. So that's Akshay Bora. So they're all going wide down at Ascari, finding it very difficult down there. Meanwhile, Freddie Slater has just put a 145.187 on the board behind Beaton. What can he do? Does not improve. Al Daheri up to the line, 146.041. Taito Kato improved and did a 145.590. And Edu Robinson, with everyone going off, he's managed to find himself 5th spot. So that would be a top 10 start overall for Edu Robinson. Interesting how we're seeing so many drivers go off at Ascari. It's one of the covered spots on the circuit. So I wonder if it is just the fact that the cool temperatures around, that the difference in temperature when they get down there, they are just finding it really, really difficult at this stage of the day. Could just be the case, but we will see when we speak to some of the drivers afterwards. But interesting how we are seeing a series of mistakes down there. Let's watch the ART drivers so you can see they go down under the bridge there, and it is one of the parts that is covered under the shadows, and I don't know if that's having any kind of effect at all. But what we do know for a fact is that drivers are now improving, and we are going to see the checkered flag this time, and Freddie Slater is trying to put himself on provisional pole position in what is a key part of this championship, and he's going to go a 144.5. Can he be challenged? That is crucial for Freddie Slater. Jack Beaton goes 3rd. What about Enzo Deligny? Al Daheri goes 2nd place. Great result for the Emirati driver. It's 4th for Deligny, and Taito Kato have been testing in Formula 3. He goes to P2. Next along, we've got Edu Robinson, who goes to P6. We've got Stolchan Manis, who's gone to 10th place. Nikita Bedrin has gone P6. Akshay Bora, only 9th for Akshay Bora, who'll be disappointed with that. Giovanni Maschio does not improve. So Freddie Slater, that's a great result for him. And the pressure now goes to Matteo De Paolo. Freddie Slater has done the best possible job he can do, has put himself on provisional pole position with a 144.576, and now the pressure has been put on championship rival and teammate to be for next season, Matteo De Paolo, who will have to try and go and beat that to take pole position for the race later on. What is guaranteed for Freddie Slater is that he will start on the front row of the grid with that 144.576, and that is a great start to the day. That's the perfect start to the day for Freddie Slater. Even if he is beaten later, he's guaranteed himself a front row start, and with a long run down to the first chicane here at Monza, if you can get yourself a good launch off the line, you've got yourself a very good opportunity. That's a great result as well for Taito Kato. That's got to be up there with one of his best qualifying sessions of the season. That's back-to-back 3rd places, in fact, for him. Al Daheri 3rd, Deligny 4th, Beaton in the top 10 overall. Nikita Bedrin 6th. Edu Robinson, well, doing really good is Edu Robinson since jumping in. P7, Michael Belov 8th. Akshay Bora will be very disappointed with 9th. We saw him just struggling a little bit in that session. There's Slater, though. Ready to do battle with De Paolo this weekend, and he's jumped straight in and put it on the front row of the grid. And we'll now watch on to see what De Paolo does in his group, and thumbs up for him. Cool as you like as he jumps out the car. He knows his job is done. So it will be over to the Group B drivers now. And let's have a look at those Group B drivers. Edward Borgner will be in that one, in the number 2. Ricky Liu will be in the 5. You can see the cars queuing up as the Group A drivers come in. The Group B drivers are ready to go, and they have been since the start of the Group A session. All the drivers come round into the pit lane together. They all form up as they are there, and then the Group B drivers either hop out the car, stay in, watch the session, whilst Group A complete theirs. So Edward Borgner is in the 2, Ricky Liu is in the 5, Hiyu Yamakoshi is in the 6, Nandavud Bidambakdi is in the 7, Matteo De Paolo, the one to watch really in championship terms, is in the 8. Jin Nakamura is in the 11. In about 5 seconds, the pit lane will open, so not long to go. Kanato Lee is in the 19, Pedro Claro in the 22. Great to see James Igozi is back. He's in the 50. Dion Gauda is in the 55. Jan Przowski is in the 74. We'll see how he gets on over with RPM. Thomas Stolchemanis looked good, didn't he? Dion Gauda is in the 55. Evan Gilter, who was quick yesterday, is in the 95. And Yaroslav Veselau is in the 96. Green light is on at the end of the pit lane, and we are seeing drivers leaving pit lane straight away to get out onto the circuit. Some takeaways from that first session. Well, it was around 6.5 minutes to go before we saw first flying laps come in. We saw some drivers going off, which is unusual for a qualifying session in this category, I have to say. You don't usually see drivers making mistakes like that, particularly twice anyway. You know, you might see drivers go off on a real push lap and bring out a red flag, having made a big mistake and dropped a wheel or something. But it was a bit unusual to see several drivers going off at the same corner. So let's see what happens in this one. I wonder if the grip levels will now start to improve as the temperature begins to improve. Air temperature 5.6, track 6.5. It's very cool out there. That's what the screens are showing me, and it's just going to slowly get better all the time. So if we do just see an increase, then the advantage might swing the way of these drivers going into that final 5 minutes. Jan Przowski is the driver leading the way in the 74. Speaking to Keith Donegan yesterday, he was happy with what he'd seen in Jan and Thomas, and also happy with the look of the new car for next season as well. Definitely a step in the right direction for getting these drivers ready for Formula 3. And that is ultimately what a lot of these drivers doing. You saw Nanda Vudbinimbakdi there. He was testing with Dams Lucas Oil across all 3 tests. And many people that I spoke to yesterday, things that they noted. We had Maya Verg here yesterday as well. It looks like she's going to be here with us throughout the weekend, ready to compete for the F1 Academy title in Vegas in just a few weeks. But she noted how the car is narrower, it looks lighter, bigger tyres as well, an increase from 13-inch to 15-inch. New steering wheel, of course it's got the Toyota engine. It's going to be a quicker car, and a more aerodynamic car, and it just looks like it should give us, one of the key things it should give us is better racing, more opportunity to overtake, more opportunity to have very close racing, and overall it should give the drivers more of a feel of what they can expect when they go into Formula 3. So yeah, I like the look of the car. It looks very nice, looks very good, and you can see immediately the philosophy of what they are going for there. So if you're anywhere near Monza, come down and have a look at it, and if not, then just keep an eye on the socials. We're going to be recording some stuff on the car throughout the weekend. There's Dion Gauda. Now, we don't just have the overall title, we have the rookie title and the team's title as well. Dion Gauda is leading the rookie title, 22 points ahead of the rest of the field, essentially. Yamakoshi is coming. I think he's just giving himself some space, actually. But it was an unusual place to slow down, wasn't it? There's 50 points up for grabs this weekend. Dion Gauda has a 22-point advantage. He can wrap up that rookie title today if he gives himself enough of an advantage. If he increases his gap by 4 points over the likes of Edu Robinson and Edouard Bordner and Ania Frey, then he will win the rookie title today. So that's one to watch for. Dion Gauda can win if he is to finish in the top 8 positions and the rest are not to score. And if he gets a rookie win, he will also break the record for the most rookie wins. The team's championship, let's talk a little bit about that while we have some time, because right now it looks like we're still plugging in some warm-up laps. How we know that is they're weaving the cars, so that's why we're not really bothering to talk about their lap times yet. The benchmark we've just had is a 144, currently on 156s. The team's championship, RSGP versus Prema. That's kind of been the theme of teams championships over the years, hasn't it? RSGP won in 2021. They lost out on the last lap of the season in 2023. Prema have won ever since then. So RSGP won in 2021. Prema have won all 3 titles since then. In 2023, though, it was on the last lap of the season, and Kimi Antonelli was the guy who got that. RSGP are leading by 48 points over Prema, so it's looking good for RSGP. However, Prema in that last session did just put in a really good result, didn't they? They had Freddie Slater and Rashid Al-Daheri 1 and 3, and they had Jack Beaton up there as well. So they had 3 cars up there in the top 10. 2 of the drivers score points, top 2. So they've got Freddie Slater and Rashid Al-Daheri up there. Enzo Deligny was 4th. So it's looking good for them. RSGP could do with another good qualifying. The disappointing one for them was Akshay Bora was down the order, so they could really use Jin Nakamura getting a good result here, because right now there could be a big swing for Prema Racing going into the season finale tomorrow, and we could see something similar to what we saw in 2023. That said, Jin Nakamura was listening to me. He's gone quickest, but we're still well away from what we are seeing before. No Prema drivers out in this. They all were in the last session. So RSGP are going to be really hoping that Jin Nakamura does a good result here. In terms of the overall championship, Matteo De Paolo, who has was that him? That looked like him. He's just gone wide there. Let's have a look. Yes. That one out. Is he just gone wide there to try and pull himself out of the lead of the pack? Matteo De Paolo. Well, I'm not sure. Matteo De Paolo was not sure what the intention was there, but he took the cut through intentionally. I'm not too sure exactly what the stewards would think of that, but he was the leader of the pack and then took the cut through intentionally. So we're getting some strange games going on now, and this is the point where you just got to get on with it, haven't you? And the 22 of Pedro Claro has just gone for it, because everyone is just spending all this time trying to find a toe. You can see Claro making his way down to what is now Curva Alboreto. But all the drivers desperate to try and find some slipstream. And look at this, racing into the final corner as well. That's Jan Przawski. Into the start-finish straight and onto the start-finish straight we go. First flying laps coming up then. Nanda Woodbin-Bakti. Is he about to set the first real flying lap here? He's sort of out of sync with the rest of the queue. He's gone through the first few splits. Yes, 146.6. Teammate to Paolo, of course, 146.6 it is. Time to beat is a 144.5. Right, let's watch the timing screens. It's taken a little bit of time, hasn't it? We've had to wait 10 minutes for this, but it'll be worth the wait, I promise. Okay, I'll keep an eye on the splits for you and call him through every sector. In terms of overall championship, we are watching Matteo De Paolo. Teams championship-wise, we're watching Jin Nakamura, and rookie championship, Dion Gauda is the driver we're looking out for. So plenty to keep an eye on, as that's a bit deep there for Woodbin-Bakti, and I think he'll just have to try and recover now throughout the rest of the lap. Just it looked like he took a little bit too much speed into Rogia, but has that first benchmark time on the board. Okay, Evan Gilter is looking good. Also, he's the fastest through the third split by the looks of it. Ricky Liu is improving as well. Let's see them come round the final corner and up to the start-finish line now. The ARTs, the first of the cars. Pedro Claro has gone to the top, 146.2, but Evan Gilter, 145.4. Comfortably fastest in this group, but not overall yet. De Paolo has gone second, and Evan Gilter goes straight on. James Agozi into 8th, and De Paolo now has also gone wide and straight on as well. Oh, and he's not going to be the only one. One of the Santox has gone wide as well, straight on. Nanda Woodbin-Bakti, 146.2. Ricky Liu, 145.6. Right, Matteo De Paolo needs to find a bit of time here overall. He'll say his time's deleted, but I don't think this will be the time he wants. He's going to go for another one after this. So the pressure is slightly on him. The door's open for some other drivers to improve, and they are improving. His teammate, Woodbin-Bakti, is improving. Dion Gauda is improving right down the back of the field. He's just done the fastest second sector. And is he in the slipstream of De Paolo? He is, so he's currently giving a tow to the rookie, but it looks like Dion Gauda is slightly backed off through the third split to the front of the field, and Pedro Claro is fastest through the third split, round the final corner now and up to the start-finish line. The drivers are going to get one more run at this. De Paolo needs to find some time here. Up to the line we go. Pedro Claro, fastest. He goes 145.3. Well, I thought the advantage might be with these drivers, but it looks like Freddie Slater is going to be on overall pole unless one of these drivers can pull something very special out the bag here. I think there was a lot of time at the start with drivers trying to find a slipstream, and we're starting to run out of time. Ricky Liu is going fastest in this group. Round the final corner, are we going to see the Trident driver go fastest here? 1.5 tenths up. Surely we are. Ricky Liu up to the line. Yes, Ricky Liu, 145.2. Wow. What a time. That will be his best result in a qualifying session. He's never been on the front row. And Ricky Liu has just put himself provisionally on the front row. But everyone is now improving. Bridon Bakti is improving. Gilter is improving. De Paulo has dropped all the way to 9th place. He must improve. If he doesn't, Freddie Slater could even be in a position to win this championship today. This is absolutely crucial stuff for Matteo De Paulo. If he does not get himself into the top 5, he could lose the championship today. He has to get a good lap in now, and he is improving. He's on to get into the top 2 positions. With that running, well, there he is. He needs to get a good lap in. This last corner, he has to absolutely nail it and then hope there isn't too much improvement behind. In terms of the pole position, or the fastest in this group, it looks like it's going to go to Evan Gilter. Up to the line we go. Evan Gilter makes his way up to the start-finish line. Let's see where he goes. Clero, it's a 144.6, so Evan Gilter just missing out on overall pole, and De Paulo goes second. And that was absolutely crucial. But what happens behind now is the question. Brzezowski goes into 3rd place. Did Gilter get across the line before the flag? I wonder. It looks like he's going for it again, so might have one more crack at this. We're seeing the flag now waving. Bidon Bakti's going to come over the line and go P2, so knocks his teammate down 1 place. What about Ricky Liu? P5 for him. Wow, what an end to the qualifying session. Matteo De Paulo just getting up there in time into the top 5 spaces. There was a moment there where you thought he could be dropping down, and I think he's got one more lap in this. So Matteo De Paulo a chance to go for one more. Gilter versus De Paulo versus Clero at the top here. Clero has dropped to P6, but these 3 heavyweights in FRECA now all going head-to-head for what could be overall pole position. I'd say this will be now for overall pole position. Surely, if any of them improve, they'll take overall pole. We've also got in the background one of the other drivers. I think it's Kanato Lee, who is also on a flyer. Round the final corner, Pedro Clero currently in P6, but it looks like he's on to improve and could go to the very top. Let's see, 144.7, it's P2, but Evan Gilter takes overall pole position. What about Matteo De Paulo? No, it looked like he'd slowed through the 2nd sector coming out of Iscari. Behind Kanato Lee does not improve, so it will be a fourth row for Matteo De Paulo, and the pressure will be very much on the Italian driver going into the race later now. That's going to be a tough ask for Matteo De Paulo, and it is advantage Freddie Slater in this title race, and it is pole position for Evan Gilter. A huge congratulations to Evan Gilter, who takes pole position. And that is his first pole position since the season opener. Well done to Evan Gilter. It's been a little while since he's been back there, but since Misano race 2, that is Evan Gilter's first pole position. Pedro Clero, P2. Nandavud Bidon Bakti, he will be on the 3rd row of the grid. And that's up there with one of his best performances in a qualifying session. Certainly, I think his best of the season. Matteo De Paulo 4th, and Jan Brzezowski, welcome to FRECA. What an entrance in the top 10. Ricky Liu, P6, Kanato Lee 7th, Jin Nakamura 8th, Hiyu Yamakoshi 9th, Dion Gauda 10th. So it doesn't look like he'll be in a position to wrap up that rookie title today. If anything, Jan Brzezowski will be the one to keep that rookie title going, being in the top 10. James Agozi 11th, Yaroslav Veselau 12th, Edward Borgner 13th. Well, join us for race 1 later, 12:50. It's advantage Freddie Slater But this is the Temple of Speed, where anything can happen. Race 99 of this glorious championship comes at 12:50 later. We'll see you there.